The Unbearable Lightness of Being was written by Milan Kundera, a Czech author, and first published in 1984. Set against the backdrop of 1960s and 1970s Czechoslovakia, a time of political trouble, the novel is a rich and layered story that explores the complexities of human relationships, freedom, and the search for meaning in life. Although it is filled with philosophical reflections, Kundera's storytelling focuses on the deeply personal lives of its characters, making the story both thought-provoking and emotionally engaging. At the center of the novel is Tomas, a skilled surgeon in Prague. Tomas is a man of opposites. He is attractive, intelligent, and confident, but he also fears being tied down by promises. He believes life should be light and free, and he enjoys many romantic relationships without feeling guilty. For Tomas, love and physical intimacy are separate things. He values his freedom above all else and has built a life that protects it. However, this all begins to change when he meets Tereza. Tereza is a young woman from a small town who enters Tomas's life like a quiet storm. She carries a suitcase and a book, symbols of her desire for a different, richer life. Tereza is deeply emotional and romantic, longing for a connection that feels pure and meaningful. She is drawn to Tomas because she sees something in him that she lacks, a sense of strength and self-assurance. Tomas, in turn, is intrigued by Tereza's openness and innocence. Despite his reluctance to commit, he invites her to live with him in Prague. Their relationship is both tender and complicated. Tereza loves Tomas with a deep sense of love, but she struggles with the knowledge of his unfaithfulness. Tomas continues to have affairs, most notably with Sabina, an independent and free-spirited artist. Sabina, like Tomas, values freedom and despises the weight of commitments. She lives by her own rules, often moving from one place to another, avoiding anything that might trap her. Her affair with Tomas is not about love, but about a shared understanding of what it means to live without restrictions. Sabina is a fascinating character because she embodies the idea of lightness in its purest form. She is witty, creative, and fiercely independent, but her freedom comes at a cost. Over time, she begins to feel the emptiness of her choices. Sabina's story is one of loneliness and the search for belonging. Even though she avoids attachments, she still longs for a connection that can give her life meaning. Her relationship with Tomas is an escape, but it doesn't fill the void in her heart. Another key character is Franz, a professor who falls deeply in love with Sabina. Franz is the opposite of Tomas in many ways. He is idealistic, kind, and believes in grand ideas like loyalty and justice. For Franz, love is something sacred, a bond that gives life purpose. He sees Sabina as a muse, someone who inspires him to be better. However, Franz's love for Sabina is one-sided. While he dreams of a life together, Sabina views their relationship as a temporary escape. This dynamic highlights the pain of unrequited love and the difficulty of aligning two people's desires. Tereza, meanwhile, faces her own struggles. She is haunted by feelings of inadequacy and a fear that she cannot compete with Tomas's other lovers. Her love for Tomas is both her greatest joy and her deepest sorrow. She wants to be his one and only, but she cannot change his nature. Tereza's inner world is filled with dreams and symbols that reflect her emotional state. For example, she often dreams of Tomas being unfaithful, and these dreams bring her great pain. Through Tereza, Kundera explores the weight of love and the sacrifices it demands. As the story unfolds, the characters' lives are shaped not only by their personal choices, but also by the political events around them. The Soviet invasion of Czechoslovakia in 1968 forces Tomas to make difficult decisions. He refuses to sign a document supporting the new regime, which leads to the loss of his position as a doctor. Tomas and Tereza leave Prague to live in the countryside, seeking a quieter, simpler life away from the oppressive political atmosphere. This move marks a turning point in their relationship. Life in the countryside brings Tomas and Tereza closer together. Away from the distractions and chaos of the city, they find a sense of peace in their shared routines. Tomas works as a window washer, a job far below his abilities, but he accepts it with a quiet dignity. Tereza tends to their home and finds comfort in their animals, especially their beloved dog, Karenin. The dog becomes a symbol of unconditional love and loyalty, offering Tereza a kind of solace that human relationships cannot always provide. Despite the challenges they face, Tomas and Tereza's love deepens in the countryside. Tomas begins to see Tereza in a new light, appreciating her strength and resilience. For Tereza, Tomas's willingness to stay by her side, even in difficult circumstances, reaffirms her belief in their bond. Their relationship becomes a testament to the power of love to endure and transform, even in the face of hardship. Meanwhile, Sabina and Franz follow different paths. Sabina leaves Europe and eventually settles in the United States, where she continues her search for freedom. However, her life feels increasingly empty. She realizes that her constant pursuit of lightness has left her without roots or a sense of belonging. Franz, on the other hand, tries to live a life of meaning and purpose, but his idealism leads to tragedy. His story serves as a reminder of the risks of living too much in dreams and not enough in reality. One of the central themes of the novel is the contrast between lightness and weight. Kundera uses these ideas to explore the characters' choices and the consequences of those choices. Tomas and Sabina embrace lightness, living without attachments, but this often leaves them feeling unfulfilled. Tereza, on the other hand, feels the weight of love, loyalty, and morality. Her life is harder because of these burdens, but it is also richer and more meaningful. The novel doesn't offer a clear answer about which way of living is better. Instead, it shows the beauty and difficulty of both paths. Another important idea in the book is the idea of eternal return. Kundera suggests that life is a series of unique moments that can never be repeated. This makes every choice both significant and uncertain, because there is no way to know if it was the right one. For Tomas, Tereza, Sabina, and Franz, their lives are shaped by the choices they make, but they can never go back and change them. This idea adds a layer of sadness to the story, as the characters must live with both the joys and the regrets of their decisions. The novel also explores the impact of political control on personal lives. Tomas's refusal to compromise his beliefs leads to the loss of his career, and Tereza's dreams are filled with images of violence and control. Kundera shows how the political and the personal are deeply connected, as the characters' most intimate choices are influenced by the larger forces around them. Despite this, the novel celebrates the strength of the human spirit and the ways people find meaning even in difficult circumstances. By the end of the story, Tomas and Tereza's love feels both fragile and enduring. They face life's challenges together, finding moments of happiness in their shared experiences. Their story is a bittersweet reflection on the nature of love, freedom, and the choices that define us. The novel's ending is both tragic and beautiful, leaving readers with a sense of awe at the complexity of human life.